One of Envy versus Rogue from last night's quarterfinal match of Apex tournament. Let's talk about backstories since this will be the first VOD everyone watches, and I think it's pretty slim. Like, it'll be slim in time because there's 10 minutes, I think, of this VOD. Because it's a best of 3 on Ilios, and they only play best of 3, not best of 5. So key talking points for this match, I think, will be the fact that Envy's roster is new. As you can see, this is Mickey from Thailand, who is replacing Tailspin. What's interesting about this comp now, or like their team composition, is that they switched roles instead of just switching players. So instead of only subbing out Tailspin for Mickey, they also swapped Harry Hook and Internet Hulk's roles. So now they have Internet Hulk playing Lucio, and they have Harry Hook playing DPS. The reason why this is so much better, I think, than just swapping roles or swapping the players is because Harry Hook's DPS is so good. And I felt like the weakness of Envious, like all the times that they lost, I felt like they lost because they didn't want to play Reinhardt. There were so many games in the last 2 tournaments, meaning like Gamescom and what was it? The Face It E-League LAN, where they would run like this weird they would run Winston without Zarya, they would run Zarya without Reinhardt, they would run Reinhardt, like they would just not run Reinhardt sometimes. So I think getting Internet Hulk off of Flex, or off of like the off-tank Flex to a support role can only benefit them, because I felt like it was him and Coco that were having trouble deciding who was going to play tank. For Harry Hook to get on DPS, I think is also just a good upgrade. He didn't play DPS at World Cup, I don't believe, at BlizzCon, but everyone knows that he has crazy aim. Like, he's known for his aim, actually. It's just he doesn't get to aim as much as Taimu's still Taimu, and his aim is always fine. It's just I felt like their problem was in their shot calling, so maybe moving Hulk to Lucio makes that up. And I don't really know Mickey. Mickey's kind of like a wild card in my eyes. So him playing off tank, like if he's just a beast off tank for some reason, these like Eastern scene off tank players or tank players seem to be really good. I think that this team could do well. I don't know if he's going to stay with them. That's another question too, is like if they have a lot of success at Apex, are they going to bring him back to NA with them? Like, will he be at MLG? There's a lot of questions still in that regard, so I'm not really sure. So let's start. This is Ilios. First map was Ilios. And we're broken. Oh my god, VLC, why you do this to me? Alright guys, bear with me here. I didn't mean for this to happen. And we can't have a good stream without any technical difficulties. So whatever. Open network stream. Let's go. Back to the good music. If you pause on VLC, it breaks. So we'll try not to pause here. Production value, hype, man. Watching Ilios? It's only a 10-minute VOD, guys. Relax.
Alright, welcome to Ilios, where these priceless artifacts are in serious jeopardy, thanks to our quote-unquote heroes. Thanks a lot, guys. Way to make it tough for archaeologists. Yeah, that's,
I wish that they would switch this screen with this screen, because this screen is more important to the viewer. I guess that they're trying to cater to newer audiences. Like, wow, Ilios, new map. But, It's their comps? Okay, these are actual comps. So, triple tank out of Rogue, triple tank out of Envious. Both kind of a mirror comp, except they have... One team has Zarya, no, they both have Zarya. One team has Winston, one has D.Va. So in theory, Envious just has the better comp because D.Va gets countered pretty hard by... Or Winston gets countered pretty hard by D.Va. What's cool, I guess, is that these teams have probably been practicing for the past week pretty hard. Definitely Envious more than Rogue. I think the upset came down more or less to Envious being more, like they wanted it more. Like they had more drive, they had more motivation, they had more reasons to want to win this game. But I think that this comp will be more standard as we like get more into the season and more into December for MLG if they don't patch anything. Because tanks are just becoming more meta due to the fact that they nerfed ults, so there's less opportunities to team wipe heroes now. Before you could nano boost Reapers pretty rapidly, you could get Blizzard pretty rapidly, but the fact that now you don't get those abilities as quickly, you get High Noon less frequently. Like, sustained damage and sustained teamfighting is arguably better now than going for ult-centric comps. And that's more or less why I think Roadhog is going to be an insta-pick all the time. I think 76 will have to be picked. He might fall out if teams keep running these triple tank comps because he's not really that great at killing tanks, but he's very good at surviving, and his heal station is definitely still good with the tanks, like, so there's synergy there regardless. The extra heals is just good. Like, they have so much heal on, there's so much sustain on both of these lineups. It's so hard to get kills, and that's kind of why the DPS characters are falling off. If you look at their lineups, there's like Roadhog, he heals himself. Anna can heal anything from across the map. Lucio, speed boost, and the heal is good. Heal station on 76, and you have like the Zarya bubbles. It's so hard to get a kill with this comp. I don't want to say it comes down to hooks, but it kind of comes down to hooks. Hooks and sleep darts are pretty much the only way you're getting kills against either of these teams. Or maybe like sick gravitons. But whatever. That's Overwatch right now.
Greece and the Ottoman Empire. Whoops. That's right. Historical facts.
There you go. Facts. Slamming them in their faces with facts.
Yeah, it was actually used to hold ammunition, and it was shot by cannons and exploded. So.
Like, how do you actually kill anything? Alright, so they switch AKM to Tracer. This is a mistake for sure. 76. Alright, I don't actually know if this is true, but I think, in my opinion, I think Tracer's going to fall out like completely from the meta. I don't think teams will even run her in dive comps anymore because of how good 76 will be on defense now. In order to kill a Tracer now at 76, it's like 1-2 tap and then a right click. You actually just kill the Tracer. You don't have to do much. The right click is actually really good at killing Tracer. It's arguably better than Flashbang combo in my opinion because at least you can do it from range and the cooldown's not super high. It's also pretty hard for Tracer to get the kills on 76 due to the fact that the heal station like can keep everyone alive. An Ananuke into a heal station is actually a ridiculous amount of sustain. And I don't know if I agree with this pick. I guess they're trying to go for the Graviton combos, but like I said before, you have Graviton way less frequent now. So I think relying on Graviton pulse combos is not the play. Also, there's not much synergy. I don't know, whatever. See what happens, I guess. What's interesting though is that both teams are opting to run the Reinhardt, even though, or actually only one of them is running Reinhardt. So this is a good thing to note that I didn't mention. MBS is running Reinhardt. I think Reinhardt's a liability now on King of the Hill. I don't like Reinhardt picks on King of the Hill anymore. I think Winston's probably better, just because of the fact that 76's damage on top of the Reinhardt shield is crazy. And when you mix that with Roadhog, I don't know how you actually expect to keep your shield up ever. But let's see. Harry Hook just hitting shots right now. Few kills come out from Tavik and him, but I think NVS has the better end of this deal right now. Harry Hook's got some sick aim, but Rogue gets the cap. But I don't think they have control of the points still. I think NV's ooh, that's a fat rocket. Okay, so that one, that's like a misstep, I think, from them. But I think it might be their composition that's really holding them back right now. I think they need to get rid of this Reinhardt. Luckily, they still have time to take a push before Rogue gets their ults up, due to the fact that ults are slower now. But, if this was the last patch, Rogue would have like 2 or 3 ults already. And since they don't, it kind of gives MVS a little bit more time to retake. But I don't think Harry Hook should have died there. I think Tavik should have definitely been dead, but they don't have the best heroes to clean up damage because they're not running the Tracer. Although at the end of the day, I think the D.Va might just be good enough against what they want to do. But these camera angles are really hard to work with. Just seeing a lot of things dying and they're only specking the 76s. Wins at 88% Graviton. No Graviton MBS. Taimu switches to McCree, gets off the Roadhog. I think because he wants to deal with the Tracer. I think they realize that Rogue's not really running a tank heavy comp, so they don't actually need their own Roadhog. They can get away with the McCree here. But Taimu's McCree always winds up winning them fights and stuff. That was a kind of a was weird. That was a weird engagement. AKM playing pretty aggressively for someone that doesn't have rewind up. Graviton comes out, Earth Shatter comes out. They get the kill on Tavik though, and I think that kill might be good enough. Nope, they're still getting team wiped. This is what I mean. I don't like they're running Reinhardt into Tracer and 76. Like there's so much damage on the shield right now. I'm not sure how Envious actually takes this point. This might just be an out comp. The Tracer worked out for them for sure. Ooh, good sleep dart. Do they get the kill? No. That's a mistake from Envious for sure. Ooh, that aimbot. Alright, so AKM proving me wrong. His Tracer worked out for them. I think Harry got... I don't know, he got beaten by Tavik definitely on that mid fight, and I think that was probably more or less the decider there. It's hard to retake for sure, especially now against 76. You have so much range damage, and they're not really running Winston right now. So if you're a Rogue right now, you're feeling pretty good, 99-0. I don't know, I think it was a compositional thing. Like, you could tell Envy wasn't really sure if what they were running was the play because they kept switching their heroes, and Rogue strategy paid off. But I will note that Ruins is probably the hardest map to win. Like, I find Ruins to be the hardest map in the game, personally. So there's definitely teams that are just bad on that specific map. Now they're going to run Pharah into Roadhog, McCree, and D.Va. So Envy still has a pretty good comp here. This will probably just come down to execution. I don't like Pharah Genji though. It's kind of underwhelming in terms of actually getting kills. It's a lot of damage though. Reinforced jumps in and feeds, instantly dead. Guess he got pinned or shot down, but look, AKM's not really doing that much. He's spamming, but half his team just died unnecessarily. Good rocket gets the kill, but easy picks for Envy. I'm not sure why both their tanks decided to dive. Like, I don't think Reinforce is supposed to just jump into the enemy team when there's a D.Va, McCree, Reinhardt sitting there. But and the Roadhog, like they have so much anti-Winston right now that it's kind of crazy. Taimu going for the hook, going down. I don't know why he went for the hook there. He could have just taken that fight and then hooked when he needed it. That was a mistake. Easy retake from Rogue though. I mean, once you lose a player and with like this tank heavy comp, it's kind of hard for you to retake. Or it's hard for you to survive long enough to win, you know? Like, alright, good suicide there from Mickey. Just wants to get his mech suit up. There's no point in him trying to spam and get his mech suit back right there. Pretty sure Rogue wins this match actually. Yeah, I mean, it looks like Rogue's pretty in the... I don't actually know who wins what map. I just know what like it goes to. I'm not sure if it goes up 2-0 or whatever. It did well though. I mean, Rogue made their composition work, I guess, but I feel like it was more or less like a weird positioning error from Rogue. It's also the fact that they have these good combos. Like, Rogue's actually playing to their strengths for sure with wins on the Zarya, because I think the Zarya might be the X factor here. I don't know how good the... I don't really like the Reinhardt pick from Envious, and I don't know how good this D.Va is actually doing if you don't have a way to get the suit ults. Like, Mickey's impact's been pretty minimal. Taimu and Harry Hook have definitely been hitting their shots, but is it enough with 2 more tanks? Like, I feel like you'd rather have the Winston Zarya than the D.Va Reinhardt, I guess. I don't really like the Reinhardt pick at all. Really awkward to me.
Pushes people away. They just want to clear the point enough to get it back, but no such luck yet.
Good retake.
Now still has his ultimate. Hard to find a place to use it on well. Tavik meanwhile getting chased away.
Kind of funny watching D.Va kill 76. I don't know why. It's like feels good, you know. They didn't cap yet. Nice kills, nice kills. All right, now they have the cap. So now in theory, it should be pretty hard for Rogue to come in here. Envious, Rogue doesn't have any ults. They have Sound Barrier, Earth Shatter, but I mean, as far as team fight ults, they don't really have any lockdown. There's no Earth Shatter, there's no Graviton. They have Barrage soon, but there's a lot of counters to Barrage on the side of Envious in terms of just the D.Va, the Sleep Dart, the McCree, the Hook. Like, getting off a good Barrage in this match is definitely not easy. And Mickey has like the stall factor in the suit. That was a really aggressive jump from Reinforce. I expect him to die. Nano boosted Farah gets dealt with. Very good play from Envious. They focused her down very quickly, and now they're just going to cap the point for sure. That needs to work, I think. Like, you can't afford to do that. Nano boost the Farah. I think that was kind of their way in. I don't know if they retake. I still don't expect them to retake because they're still nano boost up on chips. And they have High Noon. Like, they have all these pretty good ults. It's just a matter of whether or not Mickey gets in position to deal with the ult spam from Rogue. Like, he can arguably eat the Graviton. No, he's not going to eat the Graviton, but he'll eat the Attack Visor, and he'll probably eat the Barrage. It's just a matter of whether or not he gets in position or is ready to do it. Harry Hook's positioning is a little awkward here, but I don't hate it. Good bubble. Needed to wait 2 seconds, but he didn't really have 2 seconds. I would say that he probably would have gotten that kill more reliably if he didn't use the High Noon rather. Someone else needed to break that bubble. I mean, I don't know who it was going to be though. That was a good bubble from Wins for sure. I mean, that was just really well executed from Rogue. Now Envious knows that they can't really retake. They only have, what, 10 seconds? They cap 99 to 89. Yeah, that was really good execution from Rogue for sure. And I don't think there's any way for Envious to retake this map because there's a Graviton coming out from Wins. Like, someone would really have to screw up here for them to not cap. Okay, so they don't actually play best of 5 on Apex, they just play best of 3. So that was a clean win, I think, for Rogue. I didn't like the Reinhardt on the side of Envious. I feel like it was a mute, like it was like a moot pick. I think 76's damage is too consistent right now to run a Reinhardt shield. And I feel as if Harry Hook lost the 1v1 with Tvik on Ruins hard enough. I think that there were some mistakes from Envious, or at least just really good execution from Rogue. Like that Farah barrage definitely shouldn't have won them that fight, in my opinion. I honestly think that if AKM wasn't high nooning, he probably cleans that up and just hits like 2 or 3 shots on the bubble, then kills the Farah during the barrage. So that was a pretty high up barrage. But they dedicated the nano boost to that high noon, and it got shut down. So you could argue Envy probably could have won well, but it didn't. And Ruins, they never really had a chance. The AKM Tracer definitely worked out for them. The Reinhardt definitely did not work out for Envious, and I don't know. I feel like Harry Hook never got footing, but it's really hard to retake Ruins for sure with a 76 shooting down all of the sight lines. So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at right there. It's good execution from Rogue. Envious didn't look super strong, but it wasn't like a stomp. It wasn't as bad as it looked. I think Ruins is just a really awkward map, and I think well, it came down to the wire. It's just a few really small things wound up becoming the difference maker there. Should we see a lot less Rein play with Soldier Roadhog comps? I don't think so, because obviously you still need Reinhardt shield. I think it's just on King of the Hill maps it'll be a little bit less frequent because of how immobile Reinhardt is. Like a Reinhardt with no shield is pretty killable, I would say. If you run like a Tracer, if you run a Roadhog, like once his shield breaks you can just hook him. It's hard to keep the shield alive, I think, on King of, at least on specific maps. I think on Ilios specifically it's probably bad. Lijiang it's probably okay on some of the stages. It's just a matter of whether or not you can like get positioning and where you don't need the shield and still be okay. But I don't know. So that was map 1.